With Season 2 of the Tower of God anime in full swing, we wanted to look back and rank the top 10 characters of Season 1. A lot of these characters get a lot more development throughout the story, but for the sake of anime-only watchers and those who don't wish to be spoiled, we will only be looking at how these characters are represented in Season 1 of the anime. That means this video will contain no spoilers for Season 2 and beyond of the Tower of God series, and we'll be ranking these characters not on personal favoritism, but a mixture of how well they are written and how enjoyable they are on screen. With all that being said, if you like our videos, then consider liking and subscribing, and if you disagree with any of our rankings from Season 1, then let us know how you would do it differently in the comments below. Let's get into it. Number 10. Hansung Yu. Hansung Yu is introduced as the director of the second floor of the tower and the test administrator for the regulars. Throughout the season, he's shown to have a manipulative and scheming side. He orchestrates events from behind the scenes, and his actions reveal that he likely has his own agenda, independent to that of the tower. Although we don't see too much of him in Season 1, he's a character that carries a lot of presence, and constantly makes you wonder what his motivations might be and what his role might consist of later in the story. His conversations with Lero Ro also show an interesting dynamic, and highlights differences in ideology about regulars in the tower. Most importantly, Hansung Yu also plays a crucial role in Rachel's betrayal of Bomb. He provides Rachel with an opportunity and means to push Bomb out of the Shibisu bubble, which leads to Bomb falling to the bottom of the tower. This act is a pivotal moment in the series, and shows us that the connection between Bomb and Hansung Yu will likely be one to keep an eye on. Number 9. Shibisu. Shibisu is introduced as a regular aiming to climb the tower. He is often characterized by his laid-back attitude, sharp wit, and strategic thinking. Despite often being a little goofy and a source of comedic relief for the series, he's highly intelligent. For instance, during the first game, he strategically pairs himself with Hots and Anak, knowing that they're both strong individuals and good alliances to make. He's also shown to be highly motivated and unwavering in his aspirations to climb the tower. When Lero Ro creates a Shibisu barrier to prevent the weak regulars from climbing up the tower, Liso initially struggles to overcome the barrier. However, he eventually breaks through it by sheer determination. Liso ends up creating a cool bond with Sierra Rinen, who was also very ordinary. This is an interesting parallel because she ends up giving up climbing the tower, while Liso doesn't, showing that he has strong ambitions and his cowardly and silly side is only surface level. Lastly, he's shown to be an extremely loyal guy who wants nothing more than to help and assist his friends. While he's not the strongest in the traditional sense, his loyalty, strategic thinking, and friendship he develops with the other regulars make him a super likable character and worthy of our number 9 spot on our list. Number 8. Lero Ro. Lero Ro is introduced as a ranker and one of the test administrators on the second floor. Rankers are those who have been acknowledged by the tower and have also made it to the top of the tower. So, as an audience, we know he's a strong character with a lot of experience. Lero Ro also happens to be the viewer's outlet into the power system of Shibisu. He's the first ever character we see using it on screen, as he effortlessly makes a massive barrier to test the regulars wanting to climb the tower. When Bomb isn't moved by the barrier's blast, Lero Ro ominously calls Bomb a monster, knowing the immense strength and untapped potential Bomb possesses. Throughout the season, Lero Ro begins to question the fairness and morality of the tower's testing system. He often calls out Hansung Yu for having underlining motivations and schemes, with the two having different opinions on the testing system and the treatment of regulars. At the end of the season, Lero Ro decides to leave his position as a test administrator due to his disillusionment with the tower's practices. His departure signifies his rejection of the corrupt system and his desire to find a more just path. He's been shown to not only be a super strong ranker, but one with his own thoughts and opinions, not brainwashed by the tower. His decision to step away and look for the tower truths on his own tell us that he's likely going to be a major player down the line, and that his journey to find the tower truths won't go unfulfilled. Number 7. Yuri Jahad. Yuri is one of the first ever characters we meet in the anime, as she encounters Bomb on the first floor before he takes his test with the white steel eel. She immediately takes an interest in the Bomb and acknowledges him for his determination by lending him Black March, a very powerful and important weapon. Yuri is also our introduction into the concept of a princess of Jahad. Jahad, who's the king of the tower, has 13 princesses, who are not his literal daughters, but more of a title or position based on one's abilities and potential. Being chosen as a princess of Jahad is one of the highest honors of the tower. But in addition to being one of the princesses of Jahad, Yuri is also a ranker, meaning not only does she have the strength of Jahad, but she also has the ability to reach the highest floor of the tower. Princesses are also often given one of the 13-month series weapons, which are legendary weapons that grant immense strength. Black March, which is Yuri's sword that she lends to Bomb, is one of these weapons. At the end of the season, we finally get to see some of her skills be put on full display, as she comes to the rescue of Anak and Endorsi, who are fighting against Ren, a ranker who works for Jahad and was sent out to kill Anak and retrieve the Green April from her, another 13-month series weapon. While Anak and Endorsi struggled greatly against Ren, Yuri had absolutely no problem defeating him, making her one of the strongest and most formidable characters we see in Season 1. She then takes the Green April and the Black March from Anak, meaning she possesses 2 of the 13-month series weapons, which we can speculate will come into play at some point later down the line. Number 6. Anak Jahad. Anak Jahad is a princess of Jahad and the wielder of the Green April, another one of the 13-month series weapons. Anak is introduced early in the series as a powerful and somewhat mysterious regular who doesn't talk much and keeps to herself. She ends up reluctantly teaming with Hots and Liso after the first test, which demanded regulars to form up in teams of 3. During the crown game, Anak makes full use of the Green April, showing how powerful a 13-month series weapon can be. Later in the season, we find out that Anak is not the original Anak, but the daughter of the former princess of Jahad, who was also named Anak. Her mother fell in love and had a child, breaking the rules of the princesses of Jahad. As a result, her mother was killed, and now Anak climbs the tower in seek of revenge. Anak and her relationship with Endorsi is also a very captivating part of both characters. They start as rivals during the crown game, clashing over their different goals and ideals. Over time, as they work together in the later tests, they come to understand and respect each other, and their shared struggles as princesses of Jahad help shift their relationship from a rivalry to a friendship, with both of them agreeing to take on the difficulties of the tower together. Number 5. Endorsi Jahad. Endorsi is introduced as a confident and skilled regular climbing the tower. She is a princess of Jahad, chosen for her exceptional abilities. Although she is a princess of Jahad, she doesn't possess a 13-month series weapon, instead relying mainly on her own physical abilities. She ends up forming a team with Rachel and a large mass figure, as they are the only survivors from the second floor test, having killed every other regular attempting to climb the tower in their grouping. In episode 9 of the anime, we learn about Endorsi's backstory. We learn how she was adopted by the least prominent of the 10 great families. In order to produce a princess of Jahad, Endorsi and her adopted sisters were forced to compete against each other in brutal trainings. Their meals were determined by how well they did in these trainings. Endorsi would be given old bread until eventually she ends up killing all of her adopted sisters so she could feast on better food. It's a very dark but compelling backstory about how she was once a normal kid who turned into a violent killer, all due to the ambitions of the least prominent great family. Endorsi's defining moment of the season is when Ren puts the Green April in her hands and tells her to kill Anak to make her father Jahad proud. Even if that's Endorsi's goal, and will help her solidify her position, Endorsi chooses her friendship with Anak over her aspirations with Jahad, which shows her character development, from a self-centered princess to a loyal friend. Number 4. Rak. Rak is introduced as a large, powerful, and somewhat dense regular. He ends up becoming a member of Bomb's team, and quickly becomes known for his distinctive appearance and strong personality. Rak is very much a warrior who appears to have entered the tower to simply test his own strength and fight other people he considers to be strong. Rak has an amazing evolution though, as while he starts out just wanting to fight Bomb and Khun, he soon becomes one of their closest allies and friends, and even though he continues to say he wants to fight them, it's more out of friendship and love than for the sake of actually fighting. You can tell how much Rak actually cares for Bomb when Bomb is announced dead at the end of the final test. Rak lets out a really emotional cry, which was very uncharacteristic of his character up until this point. While Rak had no intention of teaming with anyone at the start of the series, his evolution turns him into a loyal and valuable member of the team, and it will likely stay that way, as he would want to continue being the spear for Rachel in Bomb's memory. In addition to his character development and evolution, Rak is also just a great personality and presence in the anime. He has many comedic relief moments, and the dynamic between Khun, Bomb, and Rak is literally the best in all of Season 1. Number 3. Bomb. Bomb is introduced as a mysterious and kind-hearted boy who has lived in isolation at the bottom of the tower. His only desire is to reunite with his friend Rachel, who entered the tower before him. Bomb is also shown to be an irregular, meaning that instead of being selected by Hidan, the first floor administrator, like normal regulars would, irregulars are not bound by the tower rules, meaning he can take certain tests that other regulars can't. This is seen when he takes the ball test in episode 1, and overcomes the fear of death, being swallowed by the white steel eel and puncturing it from the inside. We see Bomb's first glimmer of potential when he's able to ignite the Black March and break the ball, passing the test. The other instance of an irregular test happens in episode 10, which was the administrator's test. Rachel got hurt and wasn't fit to climb the tower. However, through Bomb overcoming the administrator's test, he would bend the rules of the tower to allow Rachel to climb. With the help of his allies and bonds he formed, they were able to pass this test. After overcoming the first floor irregular test, Bomb quickly befriends Khun on the second floor. Their friendship is a centerpiece of Season 1, as Khun, who's a very intelligent character, becomes a source of a lot of our knowledge on the world and systems of the tower. It also serves as aid to Bomb, who has no recollection of his life before the cave. Bomb's compassionate and genuine nature draws a lot of people to his cause, first starting with Rak and Khun, but then expanding to the rest of the regulars they meet on the floors. The bonds he forms with the other regulars are so strong that they decide to continue Bomb's goal of taking Rachel to the top of the tower, even after his supposed death. They all see how much Rachel means to Bomb, and how badly Bomb wants Rachel to reach the top of the tower. This then motivates them to do the same, and carry out Bomb's wish to the best of their abilities. Number 2. Khun. Khun is introduced as calm and calculated, first seeing him in episode 1 making easy work of regulars with his mysterious bag and large looking kitchen knife. He is knowledgeable, and is immediately curious of Bomb when he sees him in possession of the Black March, understanding only those who are princesses of Jahad can be in possession of such a powerful weapon. Him choosing to tell Rak to stay back and watch what the others do when faced with the Shibisu wall test shows his manipulative nature and high intelligence. His ability to pass through the Shibisu wall was easy, showing he has high tolerance for the density of Shibisu. After being exiled from his family, Khun finds it hard to trust others. His past experiences have made him wary and cautious. However, Bomb's genuine nature begins to break through Khun's defenses. This allows Khun to form bonds on the second floor, even if he won't openly admit it. Khun is also able to see through Rachel's deception, having experienced betrayal himself, and he wishes for Bomb to move on and find a new purpose in climbing the tower. We see Khun's high intellect when in the crown game he brings 3 regulars out of his bag to fight for his side, promising them he will carry them to this point and to come out when he gives them the signal in the time of need. This preparation for the diverse and challenging games in the tower highlights his potential and his leadership qualities, being able to understand any situation he is thrown into. Khun's precision and talent as a light bearer is shown in the test matched up against the Ranker Quant Blitz. He creates a great game plan, and by using everyone's talents effectively, he gives them the best chance at victory when the odds were stacked against them. Khun has a lot of mystery surrounding him and his great family, as well as his future ambitions in climbing the tower and facing his past betrayal. His friendship with Bomb and ability to be unrelenting and cold-hearted at times balances Bomb's innocence. This friendship, along with Khun's entire persona, has him ranked this high on this list. Number 1. Rachel. We are first introduced to Rachel in episode 1. When we see her running away from Bomb, she declares to Bomb she will be climbing the tower and for him to pray for her. It's a very mysterious and open-ended scene. We have no concept of Rachel as a character, yet we see Bomb so distraught with her absence. We see Bomb take on these dangerous and what many would consider to be impossible tasks, all to reunite with the woman who abandoned him for her greater ambition. We are later introduced to Rachel under her alias Michelle Light, her hood covering her identity, and her alias can be seen as a metaphoric running away from her mishaps in life, and her being afraid to face Bomb. She ends up teaming with Endorsi and a large masked figure, learning they slaughtered everyone in the free-for-all exam, illustrating Rachel is not afraid to have blood on her hands if it means she can climb the tower. Her ability to draw in a strong ally for the time being in Endorsi highlights her manipulative ability and persona. When injured in the crown game, she brings out Bomb's hidden power. Later faced with the burden of his injury, she explains to Khun, justifying her absence in Bomb's life, under the idea that they would only be a burden for each other by becoming each other's weakness. Rachel is seen as isolated from the second level examinees. She's alone whenever outside a test, and she sees Bomb as a pillar that draws everyone together. She envies his ability to be desired, and we see on multiple scenes where she can imagine Bomb climbing the tower with all these people and leaving her behind. Simply put, she's jealous and doesn't understand why she's the one alone. Bomb even goes out of his way to take the irregular test to help Rachel climb the tower, even though she was pretending to be crippled. The team agrees to help out, not because Rachel is injured, but because they want to support Bomb and his determination to help her. Even after all the kindness Bomb has shown her, Rachel still betrays him in an unimaginable way. With a subtle grin, she reveals her true colors by pushing Bomb to his death, taking one step closer to her dream of climbing the tower and seeing the stars. Rachel is an ordinary girl. She demonstrates not extreme power outside of ordinary light bearer techniques, yet she was able to shelter this weakness with her unsettling drive in climbing the tower. She is easily the most hated character, yet her writing makes her an amazing character. Her being the exact opposite of Bomb creates an amazing dynamic, and allows the twist of betrayal at the end to make for such an enjoyable story, ultimately making the audience want to know more about how Rachel and Bomb's story will play out. Because of these reasons, she ends our list today with the number 1 spot. Anyway, that's all for our list. If you like this video, please consider giving us a sub. And if you have some different thoughts, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.